Okay, so good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you for joining us today. We are The title for this is Cracking Supply Chain Careers: Real Stories and Real Strategies. So, on behalf of Augmentors Career and Business Hub and our community partners, thank you for taking the time to be part of this session. We truly appreciate your presence and enthusiasm. So, why are we having the session today? So today's session is designed to be practical and insightful. The goal is not just to talk about supply chain careers in theory, but to bring real experiences, real challenges, and real strategies directly from professionals working in the industry. As we all know, supply chain today is no longer just about logistics or warehouses, even though that's the first picture that comes to our mind when we say supply chain. But today's supply chain is connected to technology, AI, analytics, planning, procurement, consulting, operations, retail, leadership, and so much more. At the same time, the companies are increasingly looking for professionals who combine technical knowledge with strong communication skills, problem solving ability, collaboration, and most importantly, leadership mindset. So today, our discussion will go beyond resumes and job titles. What we want to explore include what skills are truly in demand, what employers are looking for, the career journeys and turning points from the panelists and speakers, what are the challenges and lessons learned, networking and growth strategies, and eventually practical insights that participants can apply immediately. We are fortunate to have an excellent lineup of speakers and hosts with experience across these areas: consulting, sourcing, planning, operations, analytics, and much more. So with that said, I'd like to invite our host for today, Kamini Singh. Kamini is a technology and analytics professional with strong leadership in product ownership, business intelligence, and delivering data-driven solutions with large enterprise environments. She brings a blend of leadership, communication, analytical thinking, and people-focused collaboration. And beyond the corporate world, Kamini is also deeply passionate about community engagement, mentorship, empowerment initiatives, and inspiring confidence in others. Some of you may also know her through her accomplishments on international and community platforms, including representing with distinction as Mrs. Commonwealth International Euro-Atlantic and being recognized as Mrs. South Asia People's Choice winner in Canada. What makes Kamini specially suited to host today's session is her ability to connect with people, create engaging conversations, and bring warmth, energy, and authenticity to every interaction. Please join me in warmly welcoming our host for today, Kamini.
Hey, thank you, Sandeep. That was quite nice, like a very nice intro. And I think because I don't know, many of you know, he's my husband, so he had to do it, maybe on pressure. But then, yeah, thank you. And again, very good morning to everyone. Welcome. And adding on to what Sandeep said that this session is, I genuinely believe, is going to be a very practical, insightful, and refreshing conversation, not like any theory or any book answers, or definitely not, the generic answers or the advice you get on the LinkedIn. Today is about real people, real journey, their real journey, real interviews, real struggles, and real strategies that actually worked in today's Canada's market. So that's what the session is about. And so whether you're a student, a profession, I don't know, like you're a professional, a newcomer, or someone simply trying to explore career transition, or if you're just trying to understand where supply chain is heading with AI and digital era, this is a session that is going to give you some value for sure. So again, will not, I think we're really tight on time, Sandeep. So let's start. And we have our guest, our panelist already with us. So without any further ado, let's start the session. One thing before we start, let's also, I would like to thank our community partners, and they are Vibrant Cooksville, Shelto Mortgages, Educa Mentors, Indeed We Can. We would like to appreciate your support, and also appreciate your community work or the growth and professional development initiatives that you have been engaging with. With this, let's start. And before we start the discussion, I didn't want to do it, but then maybe I'll just introduce or talk about Sandeep. Most of you know Sandeep, and he's a professional. Basically, he is director material management with TTC. He's very passionate about helping people in community with the professional growth, with connecting people, networking. So that's Sandeep for you. And Sandeep, because you have the advantage of knowing our panelists, I would like you to introduce them like one by one, so that for the benefit of our audience, so that they know exactly who they are.
Definitely.
Sandeep.
Thanks, Kamini. You're right. I had the pleasure of knowing some of the panelists closely. So I think, we initially thought like we'll ask them to introduce themselves, but we know that many of them are very humble and sometimes shy talking about themselves. So we say that we'll introduce briefly them to you, and then they can add on if there's something that we missed. So let me just see if we have Amitosh, and I will highlight Amitosh. 1 second.
Yes, Sandeep, I'm here.
Yeah, let's just see if I can highlight you here as well. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So our next speaker, or rather, sorry, our panelist here, first panelist here, sorry, is Amitosh. Amitosh Mishra. He's a seasoned supply chain and procurement professional with strong expertise in strategic sourcing, vendor management, and complex supply chain operations. Amitosh brings valuable experience in procurement, excellence, cost optimization, supplier relationship management, and navigating large-scale, fast-paced business environments. Amitosh is also a CSCP certified professional with a deep understanding of how strategic sourcing and operational planning contribute to business success. What makes his journey especially insightful is the practical perspective he brings from real-world industry experience, including the challenges, learning curves, interview preparation strategies, and professional growth required to succeed in today's competitive market. In today's session, Amitosh will share insights around procurement and sourcing careers, what employers look for in supply chain professionals, lessons learned through his own career journey, and practical strategies to stand out and grow in the field. Also want to mention that in terms of education, he's coming from a very rich background. He has done his Master of Business Administration with majors in operation and supply chain management from Schulich School of Business, York University, which arguably is probably number one in Canada at least. And also he had done his Bachelor of Technology in Electronics and Electrical Electronics Engineering, from National Institute of Technology, Jamshedpur, India. And he has worked with major brands like Maruti Suzuki in India, and here in Canada with Mohawk, Midbye. Beyond that, he can add a little bit more about himself. He wants to reveal more. With that, please join me in welcoming Amitosh. Amitosh, if you would like to add anything, please.
Thanks, Sandeep. Thanks for the warm and detailed introduction. And thank you for organizing this, and Kamini for hosting this. And thank you all for joining this on a Sunday morning. So really appreciate. So just wanted to add a few points that Sandeep mentioned. He almost included everything. So I started my career with Maruti Suzuki. I worked there for around 7 years in supply chain division over there. Worked in procurement, like direct parts and indirect parts. And then in 2022, I moved to Canada, did my MBA from Schulich School of Business, York University. And after that, I started working with Mohawk Medbuy, which is a very central company in Ontario's healthcare industry. So around 50% of the healthcare spending, public healthcare spending, is done through Mohawk Medbuy. So I worked in their procurement, in the indirect procurement team, for around 1.5 years now. And after that, I recently got offer from Loblaws as senior manager. So I'll be joining, I joined last week Loblaws as senior manager strategic sourcing. And thanks, Sandeep. So and I'll talk about my strategy. I received putative advice from Sandeep as well on my interviews, and I'll share my experience. I'm not sure, Sandeep, if you are going to introduce other panelists, or should I talk about my experience right now?
I guess we'll talk about other panelists first.
All right,
And
all right,
the way
all right.
we'll do this thing that we'll have a few rounds where Kamini will be asking questions
right.
related to your strategies and what worked for you and everything. So yes, we'll wait for that. Yes.
Yes. So just
So
adding, this session
yes,
will
Kamini.
be really more like a panel discussion. So we'll bring you questions. Like first we introduce our panelists, and then we'll be giving you some questions, and then we'll also have Q&A with the audience, because we want to make it more like more of a interaction or interactive session, a very audience focused, because they would really benefit from what you have, your journey, share of your journey. And so yeah, we'll just introduce you guys, and then we'll go to the sessions, and then we'll do the Q&A as well.
Sounds good. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Kamini, for clarifying that. So yes, the people who are listening here and watching us, please be ready with the questions that you have for our panelists, and we'd invite you to raise your questions at the end of every round. Also, Kamini, did you want to invite them to mention their names and a little bit of background in the chat?
Yeah, so because we are keeping, this is for you audience, like before you, because we want to keep it really interactive, we want you to at least maybe if you want to introduce yourself on the camera, maybe what we'll do, I'll send you, or you can just, some few details about you in the chat. You can put as your name, then your background. I'm going to send you that, format in the chat. Please introduce yourself so that we know who is with us, and, every one of us know each other. So I'm going to do that. I'll send the set of questions, a standard format in the chat. Yeah.
Thank you, Kamini. Okay, so our next panelist, Mr. Sai Giri. Let me just spotlight Sai Sab. Okay, so Sai is an accomplished supply chain planning professional, currently working as manager supply chain planning at the Big Four, EY. Sai brings strong expertise in demand planning, supply planning, integrated business planning, and end-to-end supply chain transformation. He's worked extensively with leading platforms and technologies, including solutions like Blue Yonder, Kinaxis, Rapid Response, and that was to help the organizations improve operational efficiency and planning capabilities. What makes Sai's experience especially valuable is his blend of consulting knowledge, technology-driven planning expertise, and practical understanding of how modern supply chains are evolving in today's fast-changing business environment. In today's session, he will share insights into the realities of supply chain consulting, the skills currently in demand, industry trends, career growth strategies, and lessons learned from working on large-scale supply chain transformation initiatives in North America. Please join me in warmly welcoming Sai Giri. Sai, if you can please add a little bit more. I'm sure I've missed quite a few things. So don't be shy. Just share a bit more about yourself, please.
Hi, nice meeting you all on a Sunday morning. Thanks for taking the time and efforts being here. I'm more from the supply chain background, not from the execution standpoint, more from the planning standpoint. When I say planning, there are some planning tools like SAP, IBP, and Kinaxis, Blue Yonder, O9. Those are the tools we use, sometimes Oracle. but I'm in the country since 2004. 2 daughters, and we are blessed to be here. And I'm not very well off in India, so always Canada cold is that's okay, right? So it's okay to be here. And yeah, so in terms of experience, I work for many companies like Capgemini, Oracle Consulting, Eastern Young, and many others. And I also have a company of my own, which I will talk more about it. And I also have a company in US. I have a company in Toronto. And most, even though I live in Toronto, if a recruiter calls me, my reply is always I live in Buffalo and I'm a Canadian citizen, so it's very easy to get the TN visa. I was on H1B for 2 terms, and then I have been in TN for the last 14 plus years, and all my clients are in US. I work for major consulting companies, so every 6 months they send me to a different client. So a lot of interaction with the clients and more on the IT side and business processing side, not on the execution, more on the planning side. Nice meeting you all. Thanks to Sandeep ji and Kamini ji for arranging this wonderful event and happy to connect with you all. Back to you, sir, Sandeep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sai. And everyone, I must give the credit where it's due. So I have to admit that the idea of this session actually emanated from Sai indirectly, because Sai was the one who was sharing some information in the group, and I saw like people were like really excited about what he was sharing, and then he shared information about some of the recruiters and how people could go about finding opportunities and stuff, and that gave me an idea that and I was speaking with other panelists as well for other reasons, and that gave the idea that we should bring this information in mainstream so people like really understand that a bit deeper. So that was the genesis of the idea for this session. So Sai, appreciate you acted as a catalyst. This was an overdue thing that we
Thank
wanted to do.
you. Blessed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And now I want to introduce another panelist, the third and the final panelist. Let me just see. Rahul, you're there, right?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so our next speaker is Rahul Parapat. Rahul is an experienced supply chain and operations professional with the strong expertise across retail operations, planning, process improvement, and business transformation. Rahul brings valuable industry experience in managing fast-paced operational environments, optimizing workflows, improving efficiencies, and supporting business growth through practical, data-driven decision-making. His professional journey reflects adaptability, continuous learning, and a strong understanding of how supply chain functions connect with broader business goals. What makes Rahul's perspective especially valuable is his practical understanding of day-to-day operational realities, team collaboration, stakeholder management, and the importance of communication and problem-solving skills in building a successful career. Like other panelists, Rahul will also share insights around operational experience, career development, industry expectations, workplace skills, and practical lessons from his own professional journey. I also want to mention that in terms of education, Rahul shares something common with Amitosh. So Rahul is also a master's in logistics, materials, and supply chain management from Schulich School of Business, York University. Not only that, he has done programs with the Supply Chain Management Association of Ontario, and he's a BTech in biotechnology from Vellore Institute of Technology in India. Rahul, I'll invite you and leave it to you if you'd like to talk a bit more about your professional side. I didn't want to reveal something which, if you don't want to, so feel free to add a little bit more about your current role and and what that entails.
Hello all. Good morning first. First of all, thank you, Sandeep sir, for organizing this, and sir and Amitosh. Nice meeting you all. So I came to Canada, just to start with, I came to Canada in 2023. Since then, Canada has been like really good to me, I would say. Like when I landed, I was scared of winter, but the that particular year, the winter was really bad. Like it was normal days, like it was just like spring. So that way I escaped the first winter. And then after I graduated, like it was a bit hard, like for me, like as a new person coming from India. Before that, just to give you a background, I had over 6 to 7 years of experience when I came from India. So I have worked in manufacturing, non-profit, and also startup. So this was my whole background, and I was not sure how it will place me here. And I was like literally scared throughout my journey while studying. So my whole focus was initially when I came here, my first initial focus was only rather than studying much, my whole focus was because it was a 1 year master's. So my whole focus was on getting a job. So the moment I landed, like I landed like 15 days before the classes were starting. So I started going to Shulik every day just to sit there and just to feel about like how it happens, learning about market, just talking to random people over there. So this gave me a perspective of what happens. I used to go to our CCD, Amitosh might know. So there were like few people there. So they were like, I know that they were a little older, and a little out of touch, which I felt like later on, but they gave me good advices, what they think about the market. So I started connecting with people. So I connected with Sandeep sir also like that. And then he gave me his number and we called and he gave me good advices. Like that, I connected with multiple people, even ministers from Ontario who are still in touch, who are still my mentors. And then if you say there are people who are in different industries, they could be IT, they could be like supply chain. So this connections, then what it landed me multiple interviews when I graduated. I was graduating in April and I interviewed first just before 3 months before graduating. But unfortunately, I didn't land the job because they want someone immediately and I didn't have the visa to work here. So then after that, like I joined after I had to search, like after graduating, all my friends got job and it took me like 2 months to land me a job. But I had like almost 6 to 7 last rounds going on at that time. So one thing is perseverance, and I would say like it normally drags here in Canada. Sometimes, even if the interview was over like a month ago, it takes them 1 month to make a decision, or even like 1.5 months. So it's all about the entire game. I felt it's all about patience once the interview is over. So that is one thing. And then just a background, what I do in Canada right now is like I started my career at Mesa Americas. They're like chemical manufacturing firm, and I was an inventory planning specialist. So within 6 months, I saw another opportunity at Walmart Canada. I applied as a fulfillment manager. I got in Walmart, and this was all through networking. I would say like all through people, all referrals. But without referral, also I got few jobs like RL Datix. It was an IT company as a procurement specialist. But I joined Messer because I was close to manufacturing, so I knew more about manufacturing. And then I went to retail in Walmart because Walmart was like, obviously I needed that big name. I didn't have a big name with me till then because I was working with family owned and something else. So that's the main perspective I found here. And just after 1 year, like I finished my 1 year and like just now in Walmart in January 2026. And in April, my company, like my team, my director gave me good news. So I was promoted into one of the roles which Walmart is implementing it for the first time. That's right now I'm working as a manager, supply chain AI, enablement and automation. So Walmart is like every other company in the world, Walmart is also giving a lot uh, of importance for AI. So right now I'm like working in AI, building tools and like automating multiple processes. We have a team, we are total a team of like right now it's just 4 people. So hopefully it's going to become big. But so far it's been nice. I'm learning a lot of AI and I think AI is going to be the future. So one suggestion, if you take it from me, learn AI. That's all. That's all from my side.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. I think you have given us a preview of some things that we will be discussing a bit more in detail in the coming rounds. Rahul, you joined a little bit late. I know that you had to go to the airport. So what we'll be doing is that we have a few rounds with certain themes. So we'll go in the rounds, and then we'll ask the panelists their views on related to those, and then we'll have Q&A session from audience at the end of each round. So approximately 10 minutes, 15 minutes for each round. We suddenly are going to go past 11, so I'm expecting around 11:30. By the time we should finish this today's session. Okay, very well. So with that said, Kamini, handing it over to you for the.
Yeah. Let's keep the momentum with the career journey and so start with that. Will be maybe the format we follow is I'll put in a question and maybe we ourselves can ask the panelist or if they raise their hand. I don't know which one is preferable. We can maybe call you out. That is fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. Because we're talking about our career journey, and again, continuing with that, let me ask the first question as to what was a major turning point in your career? So maybe I start with Sai.
Yeah, so the major turning point is I met the right people at the right amount of time. And one thing I would not do is try super hard, right? Most of the time when I go to the people, they say, oh, I applied for 10 different places, nobody get back to me, right? I won't take that as an answer. Like there was a top 100 award, some kind of companies in the Netherlands where they announced it as like in the newspaper. I went company by company. I applied to all the 100, right? So I don't give up. I try very hard. At least I have a thing. Okay, I tried. It's not me. If I didn't get back, I need to wait for my turn to come up, right? So just turning point is sometimes it's very fluctuating when you apply to so many places, you don't have a single feedback. I get that, but something is wrong, right? Either we may need to go back to school or sometime we need to get back into something and learn about ourselves and try to come up with. Somebody said it like learn AI, but my turning point is I met the right people at the right amount of time, but also people doesn't come on your way, right? You need to keep your eyes and ears open and keep looking for those people, right? So I will share some more how to find the recruiters, and I never had a problem saying, oh, we didn't hear back. Maybe it's a supply chain planning side of it a little bit unique, but if the Monday morning, if I get an email saying there is a position open, and if I apply with my resume, all these recruiters in the supply chain planning is in India right now. Within 10-15 minutes, they will call me. Immediately, they will call me. Super nice. I can share my phone log. We will take it more, right? And I hope I answered your question.
You did. Yeah. Thank you. So the next one, again related. Why did you choose supply chain? Because this is a supply chain related session. And maybe Rahul, you want to ask that or talk about it?
Oh, yes. So I chose supply chain because I come from a different background. Like I had a bachelor's of technology in biotechnology with admissions from multiple universities like UBC or University of Michigan and multiple universities when I was like just graduating. So I had some family issues that I'm going on. So I had to stay back in India because I was the only son for my parents. So then I decided to stay back. So then I started working at a family-owned business where I was working in multiple things, but then I found supply chain to be more interesting because I could go out because I was working in procurement. So there in manufacturing and all, you can move around. So you have to go check for specific things. Like you go to Delhi, you go to Mumbai. So that's one thing I found. I didn't want to sit in office. I just wanted to move around. That is my, that time we were kid, 20s. So that is my main ambition. So once I got into supply chain, I started learning more. So it was mainly I started with procurement, talking to different vendors and learning different skills. But I would say I didn't have a major ERP skill. I would say I had like very limited ERP skill because mostly mine was like all about vendor negotiation. And then slowly, my most of my ERP skills I got acquired my skills from here in Canada, I would say, and especially SAP, where my first company, Messer, they trained me like really well. So even before leaving Mesa, I told my manager that is it okay if I leave? Do you want? Because we were implementing a new ERP and I was doing the testing, Slim4, and I was always like kind of I love tech from the beginning, though I was doing biotechnology because I took my C, Java and all like back in the day while I was studying at like doing my bachelor's at VIT. Just as like I wanted to keep up with that, but I didn't want to end up in IT. That is another thing because we all get it. I got into three companies just after VIT, like Infosys, Accenture, and Cognizant. But obviously, I was not interested, so I didn't. I left it because I wanted to go for masters, but that didn't happen. And finally, fate took me here again, back here after like almost 8 years after graduating from the after my bachelor's, and then I knew that all that matters here was to get a job. That is the first thing I understood. And when I landed, Canadian economy was really in a very bad state. And that time there was no AI, there was just ChatGPTs like normal this thing. So I started learning there what ChatGPT does and everything. So that was my initial thing with AI. But to talk about this thing, I started applying 4 months before I graduated because I wanted to know how it feels. And when I started getting interviews, I knew that my resume is good. Like I worked at least.
Resume and that in the next session, and that's very important for all of us. So yeah, thank you for sharing. And now we move to next, and that's Amitosh. So Amitosh, what did surprise, like one thing or what surprises you most about the Canadian workplace? Like it's different. It's not like Canadian market is different. What really surprises you here? Any surprises?
Yeah, so I came from India where I worked there in Maruti. So it was like for 7 years I worked with just one company, and I got that job purely because of my, I graduated from there, interviewed, and just went there without much effort. So one thing here I realized it we have to, like, the educational background level, like even if you have MBA from anywhere, just because you have an MBA, you will not get the job. So you have to network, you have to develop your resume, you have to develop your interview skills. So just because you have some MBA degree or certain degree or certain certifications will not land you job, like what happens in India. For India, getting my first job was super easy. I just interviewed and I got the job purely because of the because I was from the I interviewed in the college and I got the job. But here, the influence of the college was a little bit less, and it was the individual skill, individual effort. So I had to network with a lot of people. So when I came here, I started networking. I networked with Sandeep sir and a lot of people, like Rahul mentioned. I used to go to Schulich, meet people, talk about my uh, experience. And one thing that I personally felt difficult over here was like my experience was in inventory management, supply chain operations, just in time operations, slightly procurement. So it was a mixed bag. But when I landed here, I was not sure which stream should I go to. Like I was sure that I will be in supply chain, but in supply chain, which side, like material management or inventory management or procurement, demand planning. So I was into a little bit everything. So when I started applying, I started getting calls for procurement. So that was the starting, like there I found out that, okay, so my experience aligns with procurement. And then I started applying to all the uh, procurement roles. And that is where I started getting more and more calls, and I started working on my resume, networking with people on procurement side. So here in Canada, what I felt, to summarize, what I feel is the networking, putting individual effort, working more to develop your experience rather than working just on certifications or degrees, is slightly that I feel is
There's
different from
nothing
India.
really on like what my topics in the workbook.
Requesting if you're not speaking, please put on mute. If you can go on mute. Yeah. Yes, Santosh. Thank you. Yeah, I would just like to add, Canadian market, one good thing that I find about Canadian market is here you have the opportunity to make a switch. Like if not really stick to the background you came from. For me, I'm a farmer. Like I did B Pharma, I did MBA, I was working in a bank. When I came here, I switched to IT, and I'm very happy there. So you get a good opportunity if you're really inclined, if you really work hard and get some good guidance. That is really important, and networking. You can actually switch and make a better of yourself. Anyways, that's my my sharing, but I'm moderator here, but still, yeah, thank you. Okay, with this, because we did spend quite a bit of time on the career journey, we're not taking Q&A, question and answer round with the audience after this. Let's move on to the next session, Sandeep, next question. You can say, oh, you have something to add?
I was just saying that we have few introductions here in the chat from various participants. So I just want to take 2 minutes or some more time just to quickly mention their background. So the panel also knows the audience. If there's okay with you, I'll just take 2 minutes very quickly. Okay, Kamini?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have Amit here, Amit Arora. Amit is a senior buyer in supply chain solar industry, and he wants to get more information on supply chain from the session. Rajender is procurement specialist, and he would like to understand the process followed by for getting the opportunity in the tough market. We have Nishant. Nishant is again a supply chain specialist and is hoping to learn about career trajectory and strategy for mid to senior level positions in North America. We have Murli Mohan Mushyam. Murli is operations and shipping coordinator and an avid follower of industry updates. We have Kiran Makwana. Kiran is a production planner, is working with power distribution component manufacturing company. And he has heard about AI and needs specific information on how can I get maximum benefits from AI and how can I make AI as best friend instead of threat. We have Alex Joseph. Alex is with Marks Warehouse, pursuing supply chain at Seneca College, and he's here to learn more about the sector. Sayali Jogale, she's pursuing, I'm assuming she was pursuing MBA in supply chain from Niagara University. She wants guidance with respect to job search and opportunity and what is currently required, like certifications, in supply chain job market. Chirag is a buyer with an automotive parts manufacturing company. He wants to know how he can diversify his role in supply chain industry and use of AI. We already know Sai. Shubham is a terminal operations manager and is working with the organization building Ontario's first private intermodal facility, looking to get insights of supply chain across different functions. We have Rahman Mushfiqur Rahman. It's a CSCL, CSCMP himself, and is currently working in sales, working 10 plus years in supply chain. And he would like to learn from the experts and return into supply chain field. Then we have Hardik. Hardik's promotions planner, food retail sector, understands current market trends in terms of hiring, impact of AI on supply chain, and career paths. We have Aditya. Aditya has completed postgraduate in supply chain management from Canada. He also has worked in Walmart. Recently moved to Dubai in international logistics, and he would love to learn about the future opportunities in this area in Canada. We have Herschel. Herschel is materials planner, Train Technologies. He wants to seek guidance and insights to learn more about the industry and move ahead in his career. We have Pankaj. Pankaj is CSCP, who works as a transportation specialist, and he wants to gain knowledge about the latest trend in hiring. So the purpose was so that the panel here, Sai, Rahul, Amitosh, and Kamini, yourself, you understand our audience and what is their motivation and what kind of background we have here, so we can customize, our discussion accordingly. Thank you so much, everyone, for writing about, yourself. That helps a lot. Thanks for engagement. Over to you, Kamini. Back.
Yeah. So thank you, Sandeep. And now let's move to the very interesting, and I think most of the question comes in there here, where we're talking about interview and job search round. Preparing a resume itself here looks like a project. You get so many advices from people. This will not work. That will work. You have to have the keyword in. When I was trying it, for me, luckily it did work. But then I was also so confused with how do I tailor make my resume to be really selected? Because what I understand that until your resume gets on the desk, you can do nothing, right? That's the very beginning of your job search, or the first success point. So this is the round that we will be talking about. How do you tailor make your resume, network more? These are the advice that comes in. How do you upskill yourself? So this would be the focus. Now, very interesting. Let me put the first question in. Okay, so who do I pick up? Whoever. Amitosh, this time I'll go with you first. What helped you stand out during interviews? Like what was it? Because you are successful in this share.
Yeah. So what worked for me was I was applying into very specific roles. So once I had about 18 months of experience with Mohawk Midway, so I was into procurement. So I started applying into very specific roles. Like I was consistently applying into around 3 to 4 uh, companies every week. So I started my job search in January, and I received around 3 interviews right in the month of January with Home Depot, Thomson Reuters, and OECM. So I was very specific, like which role I'm applying to. It was sourcing manager role. I got my interviews, but unfortunately, I got uh, like advanced into the final rounds, but I did not get the final offer. And the reason was I was leaving the current job in like 14 or 15 months, so they were not very sure, and I was not prepared for the questions like, why are you leaving your job so soon? Or this was a step up. Like I was working as an individual contributor right now here, but since I was moving to manager role, it was slightly a step up, and I was not prepared really well for some of the answers. And from those 3 interviews which I got rejected, I knew that what questions are the interviewers asking. So then I started preparing for those answers, like why am I leaving my job? Why I want to get a promotion right now? I started working preparing those questions, and so again, when I received 2 other calls, I I started refining those questions, and also for mock interviews. Sandeep sir, if you remember, I reached out to you to have a mock interviews before my interview at Scotia and Loblaws. So he was very kind enough to help me. Give me a very positive feedback, constructive feedback on what should I improve. For example, while I was answering that, why are you looking for a switch from Mohawk right now with 1 year? So I was saying that I'm working in a public procurement. So Mohawk is a public procurement company. It's a public sector company. So I was saying that uh, that the decision making was slow. It was bureaucratic. I was slightly negative. So I refined that answer to say that here I gained a lot of experience, but now I'm looking to work in a more bigger company where I could get more accountability and all those. So I refined those answers from negative side to positive side, and I also created the story points, like how to run a RFP. The entire story points I ran, like what should I tell, what should be if there is a follow-up question, what should I answer. So all those things I over prepared in a way for the upcoming interviews. And I think the preparation was on good line, because I was able to convert 2 interviews immediately after that. So that helped me. I would say the over preparation, mock interviews, those things were the key. And you should always reach out to somebody who is into that industry to see if the answers that you are thinking is correct, or if you need any improvement on your answers. So my mock interview with Sandeep, so that helped me to refine the answers and get some feedback and implement those feedbacks in my actual interview. And also you get into momentum. So just before a day or two, if you do a mock interview with someone, you get into that interview mode. So that helped me in a way to crack those interviews.
So what I understand, like having a mentor maybe, and practicing with somebody, being more prepared with the interview really helps. Yes, Amit, go ahead.
Yeah.
The thing that Amitosh mentioned, like getting that mode is very important, like getting that momentum. when you have your interview, like a couple of days before or like the week before, if you practice, 2 or 3 mock interviews, that really gets into that zone, right? You have all the knowledge, but like the words will start flowing smoothly. And some of these questions, like we do expect, like at least 40% of the questions, I believe you can like guess or expect that
Yeah.
these questions will be asked. So if you have rehearsed those, then your focus is more about like the remaining, things which are more specific, right? So my offer is still there for everyone in this community as well as outside. In terms of mock interviews, practice, or brainstorming, if you'd like to connect. If you have a great friend, that's fine. If you'd like any support from me or Augmentor's team, feel free to reach out and we'll try to arrange that for you. That is the least that we can do, because getting a referral is difficult, but preparing for the preparing or getting you the practice for the interviews, that is something which is in our control, and we are like a lot of people who would be loving to be of that help. I'm very confident about our community here. So I just want to say that, Kamini and Mitosh, thank you.
Okay, so
I just wanted to add, Kamini, one more thing. So even if someone gets interview in the procurement role, or someone is preparing to work for the procurement role, feel free to reach out to me. If you are not getting calls, if you want to work something on the resumes, feel free to reach out, and I'll see if I can help you with any feedback on that.
that's really amazing. Like, that's how we can help each other. And
Yeah.
see what we want. Now, very much related. Before that, like audience, because we'll have a question answer round, but then feel free, anything you want, like if you have a question while the speakers are expressing their thoughts, so maybe put it in the chat and we can pick up from there. If you have any related questions to ask, just put it in the chat. Okay, so the next one, again, because we're talking about networking, taking help. So the question would be, how important is networking compared to the technical skills that we have? So maybe, Sai, if you want to kind of pick on this.
Yeah, so most of the time, right, the resume part is much easier. It used to be a very difficult one, but now with all the AI and all, you can write it with DeepSeek, review it by ChatGPT, and go to cloud and like Copilot. And then the resume part, even if you write it like the way you are speaking to your friend and say formalize it with any software, it really ChatGPT and all does AI does it very well, right? The important part is the networking. So can I share my screen for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. So let me know when you see it. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see here, right, you pick any day, whatever the day you want, right? There is always an email from the supply chain planning side. There is always an opportunity for you to go like, okay, you pick any day you want. Any day, there is always like somebody asking about, hey, are you available, right? I can go back, I can go back and say something like date, custom. I can go back in like couple of months, January 12th till, like, I just want to show you there are enough jobs, right? Don't get demotivated because you didn't get a reply or something, right? There are enough jobs. So if I just put from January 12th, see, there are jobs. You see here, these are all recruiters. These are all recruiters. And then like, I'm just going to share it with me here. And one other thing I want to share it with you is I'm putting an app in my phone and then sharing my screen here. Give me a second. So let me know when you see it. Okay, it's coming up. So here, if you see,
Mhm.
these are the missed calls. I had it from the last week or from Friday, right? Landsoft, Google, they are a recruiters, and Bravens, they are a recruiters. And I can tell you, like this guy, where is it? Like Sunnyvale, this is a recruiter. So this is, I'm not going back 6 months or something, right? These are the guys, either I spoke with him after or whatever the thing. So there is enough job, right? And one thing also you need to be like, for example, let me go to my LinkedIn. So if you go to my LinkedIn and you go and you see, I have 1006 profile views in the last 90 days. So let me click on that. So out of it, you see 175 are recruiters.
Wow.
That's a way to work with,
Mhm.
right? So don't come back. See, I lost job. I am depressed. Sometimes it takes efforts, but like did you do the efforts, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? So, and just keep complaining about everything doesn't help, right? So 175 recruiters viewed it in the last 90 days. And I showed you my call log, right? You take a screenshot of this and you call this Landsoft. I'm not trying to show off here. The purpose is, even if that helps one person to get a job, I love it. That's what I want you to happen, right? And I have two daughters. One of them is a doctor, and my wife does taxes for free, and we are just trying to help the community. There's nothing else. I like, there is no personal, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Okay. So if you see here, this Landsoft is a Landsoft. If you see here, Landsoft. So now I'm just going to go back to my screen here. So see here, I just type. Landsoft, I'm talking to, so Landsoft Vaishali, I'm just going to open her email. So you see here, so she is a recruiter. She is in India. These people are amazing people. So if you are a Canadian citizen, in my opinion, you have nothing to complain. If you are at least in PR or some other thing, at least I will take that as an excuse. If you are a Canadian citizen, you have nothing to complain. I saw somebody got a CSCP certification. I saw somebody mention Accenture. And so what I'm trying to tell you is, get a Buffalo address, get a AT&T number, get a corporation registered in Canada for $360, get a US corporation registered using Zoom or any of those, and get a EAN number. And these jobs will pay you somewhere from $80 to $120. Sometime you find even more better rate, right? And the people are like searching. So you give me any date you want. I can put your filter as long as it's not on the weekend. I can show you like 5 recruiters reaching out on their day, right? I'm not trying to, the only way to go is network, right? So go on. Like, for example, I'm going to show you a few other things, right? So I'm just going to go to my messages here. Let me show it in the LinkedIn app. So here, if you see here, I'm on the LinkedIn app, right? Do you see my LinkedIn app?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to go on the messaging, right? And if you see my messaging, so like I try to wish the recruiters for the birthday. Okay. And let me try to see. Like the thing is, you keep your focus on the recruiters, and you will find very easily. So for example, this guy Hakan Pakan, right? I know the name sounds funny, but you see, I talked to him on Monday, but go back, I talked to him on 2019 too, right? And he's a single man guy. Sometime, even if you are a permanent resident, they are ready to do a contract with your Canadian company, and the client says, as long as it is a remote job. Especially one good thing out of COVID is that's the only good thing. I know we all lost a lot of family members and all, but the thing is, these are the very small company, one man company. They add $10-15 to your rate, and they are amazing people. They are willing to work with you, and they find you. And there are like hundreds other people like that, right? So Edward, what is his name? Something Edward Allen, I think. Yeah. So like the purpose of showing this is, I don't know, yeah, LinkedIn sometimes behaves weird, but there are many, many guys like that, right? So there are many, many guys like that, and who are willing to work with you. And so I would say that's what we should all do, right? So you see here, like yeah, see, this is on April 14th. Somebody is looking for a Blue Yonder. I am not saying it's easy, but show me a message. Show me, like, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, I think I need to do that from my phone for some reason. I don't know how to navigate in the app. So let me share it again. Give me a second. So the main purpose is to show you how to network it, right? That's what I'm happy to share. Like, I know this, we have some time limitation and all, but I'm happy to say you. So you go back and look at my feedback or recommendation. So this lady Cindy, I worked with her long, long ago, and I just asked her to do a recommendation, and she wrote me a recommendation. I had 2 dozen of those, right? 2 dozen is not a lot, but that's 2 dozen more than everybody else, right? Or maybe a dozen more than others, right? So like I go and do a birthday, you pick up a day, I'll show you the message where I go and wish them for the birthday. Do they really care whether I wish them or not? Absolutely not. But when I reach out to them for the next time, they are like a little bit more warm towards me, right? So you see
Yes.
this guy, this is the way I want to show it to you. So this guy, like I said, hey, can we please call? So he called me yesterday on the weekend, and we are talking about an opportunity, right? And like I can go back and show you my text, like here, like you see here, these guys are looking for a job, right? So yeah, so he said to me on Wednesday, last Wednesday, hey, somebody will call you. And then like they are saying, oh, waiting to hear from the client, I will be on touch. And then you see here, like there are like, this is another company I'm working with right now, right? Do I have a job right now? Absolutely, yes. But why I'm doing that? So the purpose is you network when you are on the job. You network, and these guys are really, really like they are ready to work with you. And like you ask them, right? Like even I'm saying, hey, like you found somebody else, it looks like. And no, it's not. Like we are still waiting, right? And this is something I started on the March 1st week, so it's 45 days old, right? Okay,
Okay.
eventually I don't want to bore everybody, but the purpose is, please, please, please work with LinkedIn. It's a free, you can take a 90 days free, or just work with the LinkedIn. There are amazing jobs, easily can pay you somewhere 80 to 110, and it can be even a bit more. And I have a lot of experience working with it. Can it happen tomorrow? No. Can it happen in the next 6 months? Absolutely, yes. Right. That's what I want to focus on. Like you don't need to chase people. The recruiters will chase you. They are in India working midnight, working 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and they are willing to work with you, right? Let me stop here. And if you have any follow-up question, I can take that. I can keep going forever, but I think let me stop here and then take it.
Thank you so much, Sai. This is really going to be helpful. Really, really helpful. Like at the point that you said, I really liked it when you said like make conscious effort, like put in conscious time with it, like to do networking, and especially when you are like when you have a job and you have a good job, you are comfortable. You don't really spend time at that time. Like you're okay, we are all good. But you're like the mantra that you said, like you need to spend some time, go in there and network with people. I'm going to do it for sure. Like, this is something very helpful. Sandeep, you have something to add? Yes.
I just want to use, say, like one word. I cannot think of a better word, but it's eye-opening. Like many times, we feel that, market is all dried up. We blame everything on Trump and, his policies and his, craziness and stuff. But despite of everything, like going wrong with the economy and all challenges, and, the AI impact and stuff. But Sai is showing here that there are enough number of opportunities, right? So maybe we are not looking in the right place, right? Or we are not networking properly to get to know those people who have the keys for those locks of of opportunities. Honestly, Sai, I think I have learned something new as well. I didn't realize, that this much, this level of demand in the market for the right talent. So thank you so much, because
Yeah.
you
So
showed
Sandeep
evidence.
ji, I'm not here to show off, but what I'm trying to tell is don't come back and say, no, I applied it to 10 places, nobody respond to me. That's, I say it in a very respectfully. I respect everybody here, but that's what losers do. And we need to be trying very hard. I'm not saying you need to be on the LinkedIn ever, right? I watch enough reels and I watch all the IPL and I focused on my kids. I do the drop off pickup. But one thing COVID brought to us is just work remote. I have a EAN number in US. I have a company here and I can even show my contract. If somebody doubtful, I can even show my contract. I have nothing to hide here. Like I have a realtor license, I have a LLQP license, I do million things. I still have time to get on a meeting like this, and I do law, and I have admin for one education group, and then I have an admin for one real estate investors group. The thing is, there is enough job, and just how you plan your day, how you do it. Every morning, the very first thing, do all the birthday wishes, and I have 17,000 links in my LinkedIn connection, and out of 17,000, I didn't do the math. Guarantee that more than 12,000 is a recruiter. I only send the connections to the recruiters. Okay. And I know people whom I worked with. I showed you a communication from 2009, right? You go and look at me, I can show you a communication from even before, right? So
Yeah.
in the IT, if somebody has a CSCP certification, I think Pankaj Desai, right? I saw the CSCP certification. If somebody knows Accenture, Infosys, there is enough jobs. Will they pay you 120, 130? And whenever I say 80 to 120, I'm talking about US dollars, not Canadian. So you have to multiply that by 1.3. And you get like there are enough jobs. There is people are always, and once you get the very base resume and you just use, like I can upload my resume to so for example, that's something good I want to show you to you. Give me one quick minute. I won't take a lot of time. So I am sharing my screen. Okay. So this is my resume. I worked for all these clients. Okay. I worked in 17 countries.
We can see your screen, Sai,
Oh.
yet.
Okay. Sorry. Let me share it again. Do you see me here?
Yes,
No?
yes.
Okay. I worked for all these clients. Like all of these guys. Now, no, very few of them in Canada. They all are in US. Okay, and this JD Irving is a Canadian client. They make the royal tissue, the paper manufacturing, but everybody else, like I have tons of client, and I upload this to. I can show you this. I can upload this to DeepSeek and say write a summary for retail client, write a summary for CPG client. It does it, right? And there is no monkey business here. You go and check in my resume, in my LinkedIn profile, I openly put what I work for. And so somebody who's starting very beginning and somebody who's in the country, I do understand it is hard. I'm not trying to disrespect the efforts. I'm not saying it is not hard. But what I'm trying to tell you is if you have a CSCP, if you have a IT background, if you have an engineering background, if you are in the job, every day you should spend 30 minutes in LinkedIn. You should go send 50 recruiters. And I can show you my LinkedIn profile. Like, for example, let me share again. If I need to stop or running out of time, please stop me. So the main purpose me getting into this kind of group is mainly to show you, please, please, please don't complain. Have you done your part, right? So I'm just going to go, I'm not a little bit comfortable with the navigation here, but I can show you. So for example, where are all the notifications? So if I send, no, I need to go to the network. So you go to the network and then catch up.
Mhm.
And if I say no, grow, and then if I'm showing you accept, I don't know who that is, but I accepted it. Give me a second.
Oh, that's me, Sai. Sibi.
Oh, thank you, appreciate, thank you, appreciate. I got one more. So I don't know how to. My screen is okay. Hold on a second. Let me. So what I'm trying to show you is if I go to my. Why I couldn't go up? So this one. I don't apply to jobs. That's what
Mhm.
like people will reach out to you. People will reach out to you. You make one good resume, and then like, okay. So I go grow, and there used to be a network here, like where how many links I have been waiting, right? So let me take that effort. So I just want to show that to you guys, so you guys trust me, right? The purpose is to show you, you guys trust me, not like I'm not. These are not screenshots. These are real, right? You saw somebody
Of course, yeah,
send the
yeah,
invite and it came in, right?
yeah,
So like
no doubt.
like I'm probably a little bit much older, right? In the group, but like so I have to try harder, right? So I have to try harder. Okay. Do you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm on the LinkedIn app, right? I'm more comfortable in the app, right? So I'm clicking on the network and I'm just going to say invitation. This is the button I was searching for it. So send, right? And I have 426 of them waiting for acceptance. Anybody in the call who complain about the job, show me you reached out to 426 people. Probably not. Like I'm not saying I'm the only one in the world, but I'm saying that effort is not made, right? So I am just scrolling and look at it, right? Either they are in the supply chain, either they are a director, or it is a recruiter. You see here, technical recruiter, technical recruiter, technical recruiter. And this is not like sent 2 days ago, and I can go back and this is sent 4 days ago, right? Recruiter. And you tell me a day, I'll show you on that day, right? And like this is sent 2 weeks ago, and he is a recruiter, talent acquisition, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
a bigger picture is like, please don't complain. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing I'm trying to tell you. And the same
Sure.
thing with these guys, right? Like there are enough. Like you go back to any day. So this
Yep.
Vidit guy, right? This Vidit guy got me a job, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And like this is all just the unanswered calls,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Unanswered
Yep.
calls. So
Mhm.
there are enough people like Beyond Corp is Beyond Corp is a recruiter, right? Houston, like so there are, and I have a AT&T phone, and which I don't use it a lot because I'm here, but get a number and like
Mhm.
you. See, this is some of them are even goes to last year, right?
Mhm.
732 goes to. So
Yeah.
anyway, I can keep
So yeah,
talking. I
no, I
think I
think
should stop.
that's very powerful. Sorry. Yeah.
My mind
Okay.
something like if
Yes.
I
Go
like
ahead, Go ahead, Kamini.
because there's so much of information or useful information for networking, we can like especially like Saya as he was guiding, we can have a session separately, where we can actually talk about in detail networking, how you can do, and like some of the things that Sai shared, we might know it, but we're not doing it right. So that's what I think. So again, up to you, Sandeep, but then maybe we can think about it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. We'll plan that. Yes. Thank you. Carry on, Kamini.
For now, Sandeep, do you want to take some questions? Because we said we'll go, but before
Uh,
that, maybe I would go to Rahul. I'll combine two things for you because, yeah. So say, what do employers here actually look? That's the first thing. Look for or notice in a resume or when you're trying to reach out to them. And what are some of the common mistakes you think the candidates are making? So that's what
So some of the things I have felt like because of a person who has applied for I don't know how many jobs, like 300, 400 jobs starting long back, and getting like multiple interviews. So I know for a reason I attended almost like 23 last rounds of interviews because I have a folder when every time I move to last round, I put it in there just for the for my sake, like, just to keep me motivated because I know there will be rejections, refusals, and everything. One of the things they look for in resume is like you have a standard format. It's always good. I follow Schulich's format. Like I have seen still here, like I have mentored few people and some of them have got jobs now. But I have seen people who still uses like the Indian way of resume. Like it's very different here.
Mhm.
So it's just a simple format. So I just took Schulich's and did it, worked on it. It's not wow. You cannot make a resume perfect in just one go. You need help of multiple people. It could be your friends, how they are doing it. You can get ideas from them. I had multiple friends like Danish, Milind, Aditya. All of them helped me a lot. What we used to do is we used to sit after classes or like every day we used to sit like 12 a.m. till 12 a.m. at Schulich. We used to book a room and discuss what we can do. We improve the resume. Along with that, I started when I came from India at 17 contacts in LinkedIn, 1 7.
1 7.
And right now I have about like 2000,
हाँ
and it was all
बढ़िया
about talking to people. Like I
हाँ
contacted,
किसी दिन आएंगे अभी तो समर में एकदम गार्डन आपका
Sorry,
खिल गया होगा
you are unmuted. Just
Even me. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
okay.
um,
Sorry about that, Rahul.
yeah, so I started like speaking with people. I started connecting with people, all director level, VP level, even as I said, like some people are working in like politics. I started getting all their opinions, and some of them, like despite being in a VP level or very senior level, I just asked them, like I used to ask them for coffee chat, online coffee chats mostly. So I started getting their perspective, what they're doing in their job and where I'm lacking. Like one of the person openly told me, like he's a VP at a very big like firm, global firm. So he openly told me one of the main issue with you is you speak too fast. So that was one thing I noticed, and then I started like counting like every time I started taking breaths in between interviews so that I can speak slowly. Because coming from India, I we have a habit of speaking really fast. That's how we were like brought up, like how we learned. So this was one of my major drawback, and I started working on it. And resume, I would say you have to start like working on resume if it's not good. You have Claude to help now. Use Claude, it'll help you, but try to like every time you create a resume. I used to like do use multiple AI tools now. I use that time we just had ChatGPT and I had something called JobScan where I used to see how what is the match percentage and everything. Right now you don't need that. And the best thing you can do is you have LinkedIn and resume should be same because right now every recruiter, from what my experience, they know that you are already using AI for your resume. So what they do is at the same time they directly go to LinkedIn and they just cross verify if all the job titles are same or not. So some people they have they're applying for planning and they had like some other experience like replenishment or procurement experience. They put it in their LinkedIn as replenishment or procurement and they're applying for they change the title in the resume and put it as supply planner or like a planning specialist or like planning manager. So this caused people like multiple, this gave, I know people who got rejected because of that. So that shouldn't be the case. Whatever you put in resume, it should be the same thing. Like all the titles and everything should be dates should be same in LinkedIn also because recruiters check your LinkedIn right after your resume. So that's one point. That's one mistake I've seen many people making, and as a result, they get refusal. And then it's all about I still feel it's all about the connections you make. Try to have multiple coffee chats, get their perspective. Some people, though they are like at a very higher position, or some of them are retired, but they will still be interested in going through your resume and telling you, this point I don't seem it's good. So you like every job. For example, you work for like four different companies. I feel you can only put like 4 to 5 points per job. So make sure that those 5 points are really effective. Yes, of course, AI can help you in that. And for the people who didn't have much experience, just 1 year of experience back home, and then came back here, finished your studies and everything, for them, I would still suggest go for leadership development program. or rotational development program, we have good example here. My friend Milind, I think he's also in the meeting. He joined Eaton Corporation, which is a Fortune 500 company in leadership development program. So he's about to finish next in 6 months, I guess. So, and I think I have one more friend who was going to join LDP, but he didn't. And then I know someone else who did the MBA from Schulich. Uh, she went for a rotational development program with RBC. Then she became a manager right after the program, and then in 1 year she got promoted to a senior manager at RBC. So people with like very less experience, like less than 2 or 3 years experience, that should be your first priority. You should go for a rotational development program or LDP. Every company has that. Like many companies has that. Like I think I've seen with Bell, I've seen with Rogers, I've seen with CIBC, RBC, then Eaton. I've seen Canadian. I'm not sure of Canada, but most companies have this kind of thing. So that should be that you should keep a look for it. And the best thing to do is when you're studying, when you start studying, start applying then. That's one right move. So they interview very early sometimes. They also have a second round of LDPs where they take it after your graduation. But some of the companies like RBI, Restaurant Brand International, who owns Tim Hortons, Popeyes, and all, so they want people to apply like 6 months before they graduate or 7 months. They have a timeline, so they want people like graduating professionals so they can take in right after you graduate. So I think also had a classmate who was doing she was doing part time with me in masters. So what she was doing was like she was also part of this. Now she's manager for the Tim Hortons US and planning manager for the US and Canada. So we have so many people like I've seen so many people like that while studying. And the good thing was studying here, what the big changer was I seen we had 45, 48-year-old also studying who are VP level, who are director or like who are at a very high level. And we had also people with like no experience, 1 year experience, 2 year experience. And we had also people like middle level experience. So being with all these people, we know we get like different perspective, like from different levels. So that is one thing. Just like Sai mentioned, like it's networking is the key. And from 17 to like when I was graduating, I had 1,200 connections. So always network. Some people give you phone numbers. So call them, have coffee chats. Coffee chats will help you. And the next thing I would say is right now, also, I would say just give some focus. Like, I know we all are watching movies, Instagram, and everything. So, my Instagram turned out to be LinkedIn when I came to Canada because I knew that I have to land a job. That's my first priority. So, I started spending like 2 to 3 hours daily, or at least 2 hours or 3 hours in LinkedIn, sending messages. I know that if you send 100 connections, maybe 2 or 3 will connect, and out of that 2 3, only one will be doing coffee chat with you. That's okay. Still send them. It doesn't matter. It's just like whatever is spare time, instead of watching through reels, useless reels, I would say just start working on your LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn is now a game changer. And even now you have like something called auto apply through LinkedIn using Claude. You can just use the AI. It helps you find all the jobs. If you don't want the auto apply to be there, just it can help you find all the jobs in LinkedIn which you want with the link.
Yeah.
All you need is to click. So you can, in a day, you can, even if you ask like posted last 3 days, it gives you all those things. So try to use those right now, use those technologies so it becomes much easier. And
Yes.
for supply chain professionals, I can suggest one more thing. It's like two agencies that has helped me. There's one called Argentus. They gave me like 3, 4 jobs, like job interviews, and one of them was converted, but I didn't go actually. And then there's so some of the partners from Argentus, they joined something called Three Links. They made a separate firm. So they also contacted me recently also for a job opportunity if I'm interested, but I couldn't because I was happy that Walmart gave me a promotion without even asking. And also then there was this another what I would suggest was yeah. So recruiters also keep once you have make sure that you have your LinkedIn profile right. Go make sure what all is needed in LinkedIn profile you can get it. AI will help you definitely. So use AI effectively. So two things you must always have is one is a one. I know it's a bit expensive, but for the just for 2 or 3 months, I'm definitely this will grant you an interview, at least get an interview. One is a LinkedIn Premium, Maybe some of them you even get like 3 months free subscription. And second thing is AI, just paid version of AI. Just use it for next 2 or 3 months. You'll definitely start getting interviews. So these two things,
Nice.
because even though I was like I didn't do any part-time jobs while I was in university, so I had cash crunch. So going till with that cash crunch also, I somehow got a 6 months free subscription because someone posted a link or something. I messaged him
Mhm.
and got that. And also then AI, I took that time, it was only ChatGPT. So I took that ChatGPT subscription, which helped me a lot. And then keep networking. That's the only thing I see. Not a lot of people not networking. Just send connection and just send. Then what if you accept the connection? They just send you a message saying, "Hey, can you refer me to this position? Why should I refer you? I don't even know you." Because if you're coming to my company and you do something like ethically something wrong or something, it give me also bad image. So it's always good to start getting to know well the person and also like ask for advice and this thing. And definitely if after one coffee chat or two coffee chats, definitely I know you better. So for example, if I'm like referring you, oh, of course I know you better now, I'll definitely refer you. So that's one thing I
Yeah.
would say. Instead, don't ask for job or get to know the person or like ask about them or like ask for don't ask for
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
So that's the only point I can give you.
Yes.
Networking is the key.
Thank you so much, Rahul. This was really, really very useful. And actually, because as we said, this is real stories, real share, right? This is what you are actually you did and you went through and you are successful. So, adding to, I really like your concept of coffee chat. I never did that, like reaching out to people on LinkedIn. Maybe I'll start. And the other thing that you said about resume, your resume is the key here. Like your resume has to really be genuine. With my experience, just Sandeep, I can take maybe
Sure. Yeah.
yes, with my experience with interviews here, they actually over here it's not the resume like you submit your resume and they're keeping it side and they're talking about some other topic. They actually take the resume in the front and they go one by one, like they go over your like whatever you have in the resume one by one. You really have to make sure you justify your resume, like whatever you have added, any certifications, any experience, they go by your really into it. Like, okay, this certification, when, why, okay, this job, what exactly was your role? That's how my experience is. So really, it has to be aligned with your LinkedIn for sure. There is a weightage of resume or in Canada for sure. Not like back home, it was different. That's what just my small share here. Okay, so Sati, what do we do with the time? Like we are really 11:26.
I think let's continue. I think we did 2 rounds and then we had 2 more rounds to go, right? And since we are recording the session, it's okay if some people have to drop out. They can review this later on as well. But there are some questions coming in the chat about the core system certifications, which is the next topic. And yeah, so there are some questions which can get answered if we complete the next 2 rounds as well. Kamini, so just carry on. Go ahead.
You don't want to take the questions now, or
sorry, regarding this, like most of the the questions were more about if we can share like recruiters information, and there's another suggestion for different Winchesters is the name that was being shared by CB, and the questions are about AI softwares like ChatGPT. What other things are available? What kind of courses or certifications we can do? I guess we'll when we do the next couple of rounds, some of these will get answered automatically.
Okay, so let's just move on to the next round then. Is Sai on the call? Did we lose him? I don't see it.
No, I'm here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so next one is again another important thing in Canada, certifications and skills round. Like that's what we would discuss next. So this is really like constantly we hear about, keep yourself updated, do certifications, upgrade your skills. So there's so many options, PMP, Lean's, what is that, like Scaled Agile I have done recently. So I know that, like, and then AI related learning these days, very important. Then you have Power BI, Analytics, and Lean Six Sigma. There's so many certifications, and some if you can add some from supply chain as well. So we will have some questions, or we'll discuss the certifications in this round now. Again, we are okay to continue with the time as Sandeep said. Because it's really interesting and really like very much. So yeah, we'll go ahead with the first question. And Okay, so this time maybe I'll start with Sai because
Okay. So the way I see the certification is slightly different, right? Because the certification in my mind is like a money-making business, right? Just because I have a PMP or something, does that really help me to get the job? Because most of the people say, oh, it's preferred, right? But I do say that if you are from the supply chain execution or non-supply chain, you do need to know what the terminology is, right? Or you do need to know how to react in a specific situation or how to answer the interview question, right? At least. So one thing I would suggest is get any certification from Apex or whatever is cheaper. Just you need some certification just to tell you, oh, I'm certified and I have this skill set and I passed this, right? CPIM, Apex, and all those kind of thing, right? I got all of those. I have it here in the wall, but I gave up everything, right? Because it's becoming expensive, and I also you need to do the CPE hours, and also I'm not really. I don't have a currently any certification, but I had a PMP 15 years ago, and I was the very first one getting the CSCP certification when Apex was introduced in Toronto, right? That was the very first center I wrote it, right? So I would say you get one at least from the supply chain. Apex and the supply chain certified professional is a very good one. But what does that get you, right? It gets you to understand all the terminology. What is a forecast error? At least I'm not from the execution standpoint, but I'm from the planning standpoint. It does help you, right? And then I'll tell you what really helps. What really helps is getting a SAP IBP training certification. I know it's a bit expensive, maybe $2,000, $3,000, or getting a certification from JDA, Blue Yonder. They both are same company, or getting a certification from O9, right? Those are the things really, really helpful, right? Because what it does, it you know how the demand planning works, and you get some certification to support your theory, and then you are going to not lie totally, but you are going to say once you know everything. So right now I'm working with a girl in India who's providing in the data lake, who is providing all the data to run the daily supply batch in Blue Yonder. So what I'm telling is, you know what everything is, the data and all. So why don't you expand your scope to get the certification in Blue Yonder so you can be marketed as a Blue Yonder consultant, which will double up her salary, right? So that's, I think you need one industry certification and then one tool certification. Once you have that tool certification, you have to be really, really access into the system, try very hard. And that's how I got into the industry. And I don't know many things, but I can only tell what works for me, what worked for my mentor group and my group, right? I can only tell that, but that's my opinion, right? And if you already are in the supply chain, you are working as a buyer, you want to change it to our procurement specialist and you want to come to the IT industry. If you know already supply chain, you just need a SAP BW or Oracle Advanced Supply Chain Planning or Oracle Value Chain Planning or Blue Yonder or O9, right? And there are a lot of good info on the YouTube and various sources. I can share some training materials as well. But everything cannot be imaginary. You need to have access to environment. You need to know how to build a model, right? How to build a demand model, right? Once you know that, that would be really helpful. That's what my
Yeah.
2 cents on the training.
yeah, thank you, Sai. For now we'll move to Amitosh.
Yeah, so I'll agree to what Sai sir said, that certifications alone does not help very much, because I also, like, when I came to Canada, and I was like slightly confused which certifications to go for. I was hearing that a lot of people are doing PMP, a lot of people are doing Epic CSCP, so I did both of them during my MBA time. But doing having the certifications does not alone help, because I have all those things like MBA, PMP, CSCP, and now even I do not include PMP in my resume because I have the relevant experience. So I just include CSCP because that aligns with my story. So I would say having those certifications does help you in getting the interviews or answering the interview questions smartly. But experience is the key. Getting about knowing about the job is the key. But these certifications are only helpful to extent that they helps you in getting the interviews and answering the questions a little bit in a smarter way. Yeah.
Okay. Please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Okay, thank you so much, Amitosh. I know I'm going to rush now because of the time. We have to really be mindful of it as well. So Rahul, moving on to you, if you want to add anything.
Just my strategy was very different because I was like, if I have paid this much for my master's and I'm getting a master's degree, and plus, like, with my experience and everything, I should get the job because I didn't want to spend money. So that is my strategy. I was like, let me get into job like after 2 or 3 years. Then, if when I'm looking for a big change, next change or something 3 or 4 years later, that's when I want to do a certification. That was my whole thing, and that was like successful for me, and I've seen it successful for few other people, but not for everybody maybe. But CSCP, Epic CSCP is like a very good move, especially if you are like starting your career with very less experience, less than 3 years. I say that go for CSCP, it's a good thing. And if you want to go to planning side, go for CPIM. Epix is like a very good for supply chain. It'll help you, like Sai said, it'll help you learn all the terms and everything, the terminologies, how to use and everything. So those explanation, but still I feel these exams are mostly like theoretical. It will only give you those theoretical perspectives. The real thing, like what you earn is rather than certification when you get into job. Like I never knew SAP. I learned like SAP Analytica Cloud, SAP in my previous experience with Mesa, SAP EWM, SAP ECC, SAP MRP, like all these things. So SAP DataSphere. So I would say what will teach you more with the tools, with regard to tools, is your experience in a company. And if you're starting your career, yes, supply the best certifications to go for right now is Epix. And for AI, I'm still searching for certifications. There are no good certifications right now. If anybody wants to know, I saw a question there. So for AI, I would say you need to work on like your basic skills in AI. It's mainly prompt. Go for any normal prompt engineering course with Coursera or something. Work on your prompts. You can build amazing tools. And once you then slowly start going for certifications, like that also AI will help you. Ask AI, what certification can I go for right now? I have only like have knowledge of prompt engineering. Now what can I do? Like start with basic courses, then slowly move into advanced. But that's with AI. But with regard to certification, that's my opinion. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Rahul. What will help, again, I'm putting more on the panelist here, that because of the shortage of time, if all the certifications or tools and all these names that you have mentioned, if you can put it in the chat, that will really be helpful because people can actually make notes from there. So Sandeep, again, we have one more round to do. What do we do with it? Because I'm really I had to keep the time, but it was I couldn't stop anybody. So it's like 11:36, and we still have one more planned round. Now we have to decide what to do.
Okay, interesting thing is that the round that we're thinking has already been partially covered. So it was mainly about the industry trends and the future of supply chain. So some things we already talked about that. We want to talk about AI and automation, then digital transformation, and analytics and data-driven supply chain management. So basically, the question is about where do you see opportunities rising in the supply chain over the next 5 to 10 years time period. So and what kind of skills will be crucial to be relevant in the new age. So maybe we'll just have 2 minutes of your views on this topic in the interest of time, and then we can kind of start wrapping up. So this time, if we can ask Amitosh, we'll start with you, and then Sai, and then Rahul.
Yeah, so I work in the procurement, so I could very clearly see the trend. So basically, my procurement is expertise in the IT category. So I see even the hospitals, they are procuring AI solutions or AI agents. Like the hospitals, these are so slow in adopting new technology, but even they are moving to AI, they are moving to SaaS procurement. So I could very clearly see the trends. And if you see the procurement jobs now, like 50% of the procurement jobs are related to procurement of IT services. So that clearly shows the trend where the market is going. So if you see the IT procurement jobs, you could see the cloud procurements, SaaS procurements. These are very much in the trend now. And the hospitals, which are so slow in adopting these solutions, like their government companies, public sector, but even they are adopting these solutions. So I'm sure private companies would be adopting at a much faster rate. And all the companies, they have a lot of jobs coming on procurement for related to AI services, related to SaaS procurement, cloud services. So that clearly shows the trend. I will not take much time, but AI, IT, that is the buzzword now. And even the procurement, I could very clearly see that.
Thank you.
Okay, and Sai, if you'd like to add your
Yeah,
thoughts.
so whether we like it or not, we need AI, right? But AI, are they 100% adaptable and everything is already ready? I have some my second doubts on that, right? But like somebody said, right, you need to know how to write a prompt. You cannot say, I don't know, right? So my daughter is studying AP psychology. I upload the PDF and I ask the AI to generate 150 questions, multiple choice. It does an amazing job. It does make mistakes, like it makes every option as a as an answer, right? So I have to try multiple times, multiple software. But I use DeepSeek all the time because it's free and it works very well. But the same thing, can it be used in the forecasting? I haven't seen it. It's more like in the supply chain, in the planning world, it's more like a gimmick. Everybody says, I have it. JDA says is, or SAP says is, Oracle says is, well, we have AI and MI technology, but it's going to be there. It is coming slowly, right? So we need to be prepared. But like somebody said, I think Rahul Ji was saying it, right? To be honest, I don't know what certification is needed, right? I don't know. But if somebody knows, that's something I'm willing to put my efforts. And so mainly my focus is just read a lot of articles, right? Like few days ago, I wrote a very small 150 word posting in my LinkedIn about Meta cutting jobs because of AI. In the last 30 days, that was my highest hit in the LinkedIn, right? It hit more than 2000 impressions or something, right? So people are watching what is AI is doing and all. And some things like Ashutosh said, any repeatable job, procurement, or anything like that, you already have a buyer set, buyer is he is serving you for several years. It's going to be automated, right? So I don't know, to answer your question. I don't know what certification I need, but I do know I need something, right? And so my way of working is try to use AI as much as possible, right? Like instead of anything you can automate it, show it to your boss. And many companies I work with, they are now very open, right? I'm also running a very small supply chain initiative at Meta, which is like they are telling us to use AI, right? And there are some companies where they are saying, please don't use AI because we don't want the cut copy paste kind of information. We want your experience, right? So I see both side of it, but I think we all need to be aware of what is going on. Back to you, Sandeep ji.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. Rahul, you have the final word on this question in future of supply chain's career and trends.
Yes, so future it will be AI driven supply chain. So how I can speak from my side. So how I started learning about AI was like I read a journal. I think it was from a MIT professor or a Harvard professor where he gave a speech, and I happened to read that article where it said like AI is not going to take away jobs, but it will create more. But it will definitely replace the people with no knowledge of AI with knowledge of AI. So that is coming. So for example, just like Sai said, like procurement can be automated, like contracting, you don't need anyone else to go through your contract. If you are like a contract specialist, you need to upgrade something with yourself because it has become really easy for an AI to detect contact, what points to be added, where are the loopholes and everything. So that is like a second's job. Even if 5 people are doing, you don't need 5 people to do that job. You just need one person to work on 100 contracts at the same time. So it is changing, it is evolving, for automating and everything. There are like different multiple tools. So you start with, I would still say if you want to go for Coursera or Udemy. I think Coursera or something, go for, even Coursera has like a finance like thing. If you're a student or something, they give you finance and you don't have to pay for your courses. So enroll in some course, go with like this one person called Andrew NG. He gives you the basics of Gen AI. Just understand what LLM is, what ML is. So, and Sai's point, the forecasting, I've seen with my company, I can see I work with JDA. We have different tools, JDA, and like it is part of Blue Yonder. And then we have other tools like smart forecasting and everything. And I have also worked with previously Slim4, which is also a forecasting tool. So I have seen them, AI is, they're slowly developing. From my company perspective, they're developing something for forecasting too. By forecasting, Walmart has its own inbuilt forecasting tool, which is driven by ML. So now there's a supporting tool which we are building as part of our team for the just for Walmart Canada, and even Walmart US is building that separately for now. Just we are seeing which will work better. So we are building something like where the people who do the day-to-day business, they don't have to uplift or like bring down the forecast, under forecast or over forecast. It does it automatically based on the sales and calculus automatically. So every industry is changing and it's going with AI. I've seen some people who are very reluctant adopting AI, is like very, very senior level people. They say, no, AI won't do anything. But because I know they'll have like 25, 30 years of experience and they don't want to adapt it because they are at the stage of retirement now and they don't care. That's the thing. That's what I understood. So, but for others
Good,
like me or
good
like
point.
people in my age, or like younger than me, I would say learn AI. AI is the future, and every company is going to adopt, whether it's government, whether it's private. Eventually, in next 5 to 10 years, that is what's going to happen. And if you are like that time, you don't know what prompt is, you don't know how to do it, or you don't know how to automate a tool. If you're just using AI to write a letter or just write something else, you're doing it wrong. That is the basic function of AI LLM model. Now try to slowly advance by using these courses and everything. Try to automate something, create an app for yourself. Like me and my friends, Milind and Aditya, we created a small kind of prediction, forecast prediction tool for IPL games. Just for fun. We
Wow.
did that for fun. So if you want to bet or something, we didn't bet, but yeah, we just wanted to do it. So it predicted, like we saw out of the 3 or 4 matches, it predicted like just one went wrong because on the day anything can open. But out of 4, 3 were right. We used all
That's
the
huge.
information, the wind,
That's really good.
solar, how the pitch is, everything we gave the information and asked it to build it. It built an amazing tool.
That's cool.
So
Rahul, you're building a new career for yourself.
and also I would say for Oscars, you won't believe, like one of my friend Milan shared, like for Oscars, out of the 20 awardees, it actually from the nominees, it actually gave like 15 or 16 right predictions who will win.
Wow.
So
Huge,
that
huge.
is how it is going. The world is moving really fast. Every
Sure.
week AI is changing. Like if you see Claude, Anthropic, or some other ChatGPT or Meta, every week they're bringing something new. So you have to somehow catch up. Give some time for LinkedIn. Give some time for your knowledge in AI and everything. That's all about AI. And
Very true.
certifications will take some time because
Sure.
they're still developing certifications, what to do and
Obviously.
everything. It's still in
Yeah.
developing stage. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
Very nice. So
the
good. Good.
point is to, if you can please post it in the chat, what the tools that you would recommend, or, any learning or any courses that you might just recommend for us to take. And just very quickly adding here, like one of our leader in his speech, like in a town hall, he did mention that we currently would not lose our job because of AI. It's more like you might lose your job if you're not adopting AI. That's what he said, and I believe in that. We do, like, even our company has developed their own in-house, like, I won't name the tool, but they have their own tool. We have training every month, and not only month, it's like every week they have hubs and everything, and they're trying trying their best to put AI in us, like, train us, the employees. So that's how fast AI is growing and its importance. Okay, over to you, Sandeep.
Okay, that's a beautiful point where we can, I guess, try and conclude this session. This has been hugely beneficial. I think we touched upon like very many areas of about supply chain, like the interview strategies, career strategies, and then the trends and everything. It has taken a little bit more time, but we have a few questions in the chat. What I want to do is that some of these questions may be like a repeating theme. So maybe just we'll take 3 questions from the audience here. So you can just raise your hand, and we'll take 3 questions. Beyond that, we will finish the formal session. If there are a few people who just want to stick around and talk to each other, that's fine. So we'll take 3 questions, and beyond that, if there are any further remaining questions, we'll answer to you with the help of the panelists separately. Okay. So just raise your hand so I can see you on the chat. If anyone wants to quickly raise your hand. Abhishek, go ahead, please. Introduce yourself and go ahead.
My name is Abhishek, and I have more than 15 years of experience in procurement and supply chain domain. So my question to you is that because I have the experience as an end user in SAP for some company, so if I want to switch my role in from procurement to SAP domain, which software do you think that will be beneficial, and which certification I will take? It is SAP Ariba or SAP Sourcing and Procurement or SAP IBP, because I don't have the experience as a functional consultant. More of my experience is in the as an end user only. So what do you suggest?
Panelists, anyone would like to respond to the question?
Yeah. So recently, SAP acquired Ariba, Coupa, right? They all are now, I think, in the same part, if I'm not wrong. So I would say, um, don't spend too much money. That's always I'm careful of. But I would say SAP IBP is one of a good thing, and I see lot of US Canadian, mostly I should say US, lot of US jobs are in SAP IBP. And if you know all the things, it's not the which training, right? How deep you go into. You need to think about it. Anything you start, you have to have 100 hours. You start a training, and once the course complete, you spend around 100 hours in the training, put all the efforts, right? So if you do it, SAP IBP is a very good thing. And I think something I did it like 15 years ago or 16 years ago in Brampton. A Desi company helped me, and I spent around 2,400 or 2,200. That's a very well money spent, right? Like, I'm glad I took that decision and it helped, right? But it's not just the course. You sign up and then, oh, you cannot say, oh, come Miltane. No, you have to dream about it. You have to spend the time. You have to Google. It's almost like you always think about it. And then, yeah, definitely it helps. So, uh, Ariba is, if you already know Ariba, all the functional side, just continue along the same thing rather than trying out something new. Or Ariba or Coupa, they both are same or similar, or you can try IBP. That's my 2 cents. And again, I don't know too much about everything. I'm not in the educational field. I'm not selling training or anything. That's my personal opinion. Do your own research, and that's at least if I have to do that, that's what I would have. Right.
Yeah.
Hope I
Okay.
answered your question.
Yeah, but most of the companies ask for more than 10 years of experience in SAP domain. So sometimes it is very difficult to get an interview call because you
Correct. See,
don't have the experience.
that's where your creativity kicks in. Okay, I'm not going to go into the detail. We can take that offline.
Okay.
You should put at least like everybody asks for 10 years, right? And we are not making people with 10 years of experience. So we have to go through that process. But what you think is, even though you only put 3 years of experience, you need to have enough information how to answer the interview questions. And working with the recruiters really, really helps. Maybe the 10-year guy want to charge 120, but maybe if I'm charging only 85 and I'm only delivering 60 to 80% of the efficiency what the 10-year-old, I may not get selected on the first one, but there will be a chance. You need to keep trying.
Yes, very well. And that's great, Sai. Thank you. That's a good perspective. Okay. Anyone else has any quick question? Raise your hand, or anyone? Rahman, you want to go ahead?
I just have a quick question. Like, if we just who are navigating to join back to the field, and if we would like to get a mentorship program, or how can we start that one, and how can we connect, and what can be expected from a mentee by a mentor in this group, so that we can create a meaningful relations within the community of the group.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
see.
I'll take that, right? I asked Sandeep ji before the call started or even yesterday, can I share my phone number, right? So my LinkedIn has my phone number, and I live in North York, and we can definitely meet for a coffee on a Sunday. We all busy, we all have family, we all have kids, but we can find time to meet, and we can always get on the phone. I think we can connect outside this. We can just connect through the procurement group itself, right? And if somebody needs any help, I may not again know everything, but something I know, especially in the planning domain, I'm willing to connect, I'm willing to learn from all of you.
Add to this, I think that the WhatsApp group that you have, Sandeep, maybe that's a good point
Well,
where you can reach out, no?
Yes, we'll do that. Yes. I'll share my number as well with the people. So yes.
Sorry to interrupt,
Okay.
Sandeep ji. Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. Somebody is asking for the procurement group link, so just bring it to your attention. So before the chat goes all the way up, so you can share that
Okay.
maybe after.
Yes. I'll do that.
Please connect with
Yes.
Sandeep ji and he can share the procurement. He is the admin, he can share the link. Back to you, sir.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so we have one final opportunity for anyone to add any comment or questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Anyone?
Thanks to Sandeep ji and Kamini ji for arranging this event, and amazing. Like, it's not just easily possible. And Sandeep ji, I'm really very much impressed, right? I showed your poster to my mom and she was like, oh, really?
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you for saying that.
It's really, I know people say, oh, we can do this, we can do that, but everybody doesn't have the, how to say, the will and the interest deep inside to help the community. You guys did a amazing job, and 20, I think Sandeep, you were saying 20 people at some point. I saw 23 people in the group. So you put together a lot of efforts connecting the group, and amazing efforts, and thanks for doing it to both of you.
Just quick one here, Sandeep, a lesson learned when you have this kind of so interesting topic session, make it like, official time to be 2 hours, because we are almost, so you don't do it for 1 hour, always like, and yeah, we had overall, I was just monitoring, we had at the point 27 participants, and that's really a good turnout, actually.
True. Prakash ji, I'll give you 30 seconds if you have any quick comments or question.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. I just wanted to say something regarding the platform that you have provided. This is a great service to the humankind. I appreciate that for both of you, Kamini ji and Sandeep ji. I just wanted to make one quick point here. I know AI is there, artificial intelligence helping you getting the job or preparing for the interviews. But I just wanted to make one point here is that, we as a child, we grew up listening stories.
Yeah.
Right? So when AI gives you the questions for possible interview, I think the people who are seeking the job, they should think about the question and try to connect some stories with that particular question. If you can give that kind of human approach, probably psychologically that will crack the interview. This is what my feeling is. Your
That's good.
technical skills are definitely be tested, but your human approach and telling the stories, everybody likes stories. So that will be probably helpful to everybody, no matter what the field is. I'm not from supply chain, but still I want to make that point. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, very good. No, thank you, Prakashji, for those kind words. And with that, we will bring this session to conclusion. I definitely wholeheartedly want to appreciate the presence and the time given by all the panelists. So Rahul, Amitosh, and Sai, it's not easy to find time or weekend, because you guys also have family commitments. You have your other things as well. So despite of that, you found time, and you like honestly and very genuinely shared everything that you have benefited from, or whatever worked for you, and mistakes and everything. It's not easy to be that clear and vocal, and being able to share that with everyone else. So this is well recognized. I'm sure like the group would appreciate that. People who watch this in future, they would also be benefiting from your gesture of kindness. And to all the participants who were able to attend the session now or earlier in the morning, we want to appreciate your time as well. Without good questions and good engagement, it is not possible to get the best out of these sessions. So the panelists will rise up to the occasion when they see the questions, are of that nature. So you were a wonderful audience. You really asked very good and engaging questions. You were present throughout. So that's appreciated as well. We'd love to have more such sessions. We'll probably try to dissect the contents of these things to go deeper in future iterations of the program. So with that, and Kamini, thank you so much. You have been a wonderful host as well. You try to keep us on track with the time, which was not easy, but we appreciate your effort on that front. So I guess any final word from you, Kamini? Otherwise, we'll close.
Very quickly, thank you everyone for joining, and you already, all of you, our panelists, thanks so much for your time. There are many questions, Sandeep, that remain in the chat. So I would suggest maybe you already posted the our group's link there, so that people can reach out. Do we have that information before we close the call? Because I want, some of the questions were really a good one in the chat. I want them to reach out to the team in different channel wherever they can and get those questions answered. That's what I would end with. Yeah. And the panelists, if you're also open for people to reach out to you, to be we talked about mentor, mentee, and anything, any questions and more guidance on it, if you can post your contact, or is you are comfortable with your LinkedIn or maybe your number, please do so before we close the call.
Yeah, definitely. I think somebody was asking about TN visa, and so this is just the beginning, right? We all should stay connected, and it's helpful to everybody, so we should stay connected. And yeah, so LinkedIn is the best place, but phone is also a good one, right? So yeah,
of course. Okay, perfect. We will have more such sessions, virtual as well as in person. That's what we are planning. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Sunday, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you all. Thank you.